I'm Patching back with you with another edition of Transforming Minds, and this time we're going to talk, as promised last time, about progressive desensitization. Okay, there are basically two ways this can be done. We mentioned flooding in the last blog, so we won't readdress that, but progressive desensitization is quite the opposite of flooding. Flooding is simply exposing the person who has a problem to the very cause of the problem until their brain learns not to react to it. Rough going, but very effective. It can be done. Now, progressive desensitization is about breaking up the thing that concerns the person into little steps so that they address it one step at a time. For example, someone who might have a fear of flying, they might break up their steps in, it doesn't matter how many steps, but let's say they break it into 10, and the first one might be thinking about taking a flight. The next thing might be booking the flight on the internet. The next thing might be confirming the flight a few days before they go. Followed by that might be packing their bags. Next might be moving out to the car. Next, arriving at the airport. Next, going through the check-in procedures, and so on until they're on the flight, taking off comfortably. Now, having decided the steps in the process, the idea now is to get rid of the automatic mental reaction through the limbic hypothalamic system of the brain, but we'll talk about that later, to the thought of flying and having an anxiety response. And the way that happens is we get the person to feel really relaxed in each of those steps. So if we were doing this in reality, in real time, we would say, okay, what we want you to do is to think about going on a holiday, looking at the positive sides of the holiday, being calm about it. Be on the internet. Don't make the booking until you're very relaxed. Just allow yourself to relax. Think of something nice and calm and relax, and then make your booking. And if you get excited during it, just stop for a while and think of something calm again. So we try to associate relaxation with the steps in the process, starting at the smallest, moving up to the largest. And indeed, there are many organisations who offer around the world, people in particular for flying, preparation for flights to help them with phobias by taking them to the airports and watching the planes and doing exactly what I'm talking about in this broken down manner. But any psychotherapist or psychologist can help you through that process of physically associating relaxation with the various steps that you put together, leading from a very low level of anxiety associated with flying, in this particular instance, up to the highest level. So as you collapse the lower levels of anxiety, the higher levels become less of a problem. Now, all well and good. The problem with that is it can take a fair bit of time, and you may not have time before you need to travel for a family or business experience. So this is where the world of hypnotherapy comes in. Hypnotherapy fast tracks the progressive desensitization process. Hypnotherapy puts us into a very relaxed state, and we visualize things in our mind. So once again, the process is the same in terms of looking at the steps from a very low level of anxiety associated with air travel, in this instance, to a very high level of anxiety associated with it. And you put them in a hierarchy, and hypnotherapy puts you into a very relaxed state and has you visualizing and clearly imagining going through the lower order steps and then the higher order steps right through to whatever your highest order step is in a very relaxed state. So we're associating relaxation with the act of flying and preparing to fly rather than anxiety. So hypnotherapy allows it to do quickly. And it relies on a couple of things. The first thing is it relies on the fact that the brain, and as in general, can't tell the difference between vivid imagination and reality. Athletes have been using that for ages. Athletes know what their personal best is, and yet they vividly imagine doing better than that, and the brain clears any blockages if there's no threat associated with that, and if it's within the realms of human possibility, to allow them to achieve higher. So this principle that the brain can't tell the difference between vivid imagination and reality is very much at play in the hypnotherapeutic approach to progressive desensitization. Associated with the hypnotherapeutic approach is the provision of what we call an anchor. Now, we all have anchors in our life, and we're going to talk about them in another blog post. I'll give you an example. You come to a stop sign, you just stop instantly, you don't think about it because you're conditioned to do so. So we're going to talk in our next post about how you can combine an anchor with the hypnotherapeutic approach or any other approach to dealing with a phobia such as flying or a phobia of speaking. So don't miss that post. I'll be back with you in the next couple of days to deliver it for you. For now, thanks for watching. I'm Alan Patchett.